Welcome to Updates with Precious City. Always sweet to have a to bring on the things that really happen for inside Nigeria. Now, another beautiful day for here. Today will be the 7th day of the month of April 2025. And as usual, we're very excited to bring you matter that really happen. And AY is here with me in the studio. AY, thank you so much for obliging me and joining me in the studio this evening. Thank you. Thank you. So let's look at some of the stories I'll be looking at this evening very quickly. So on the highlights this evening, we'll look at waiting the Burkina Faso president or military president, Ibrahim Traoré, talk, say no country has ever developed under democracy. It means say democracy not be for us for Africa. We'll look at that as we talk about this conversation. Meanwhile, Atiku will be they say they go join SDP and say they go send Tinubu back to Lagos for 2027. We'll also look at that matter when the time reach. And that's when they talk about democracy and the effects of democracy. Sheikh Husani, Reno Omokri, Femi Fani Kayode, Ugwanye, former governor of the Imo State, former governor, former governor of Abia State, all of them, they don't secretly Nicodemously screen them as ambassadorial nominees. These people now then get the best character to go represent us in other countries. A question people will ask. Well, we'll go talk about that matter when the time reach. Emergency rule. Please don't fire tear gas at protesters for inside Port Harcourt. I give a highlight of that from my previous video. Police tear gas protesters for inside Abuja. That one's still there. We'll also look at that. And we'll go look at other matter then. Peter Obi, Alex Oti, when someone Labour Party NEC meeting. Meanwhile, Labour crisis matter. Abure don't talk. See, Abure led NEC don't threaten to sanction Governor Oti and Peter Obi. How dare you hold meeting anyhow like that? Natasha quote, TNG don't express disappointment over the poor investigation of the sexual allegation matter by Senate. I'll let you know who TNG be, so they continue the conversation. Then there's this exclusive from People's Gazette, say Tinubu extends withdrawal of security detail to Lagos monarchs in Legushi, Oniro, for backing Sonwolu to impeach Obasa and betray president. Hey! So these people now no get security details again. Okay, we'll go talk about that matter. This father and son relationship, there must be really fire on the mountain. Nigeria security agents are arrested Take It Back movement coordinator, four others for peaceful protesting. Inside Yobe. How dare you protest for Yobe State, Nigeria? Meanwhile, they say thunder don't kill cows for inside Ondo community. All of this matter and more. Now we'll go to touchlight for inside this evening. So let's start the conversation very, very quickly. Meanwhile, AY, you participate very, very well for inside the protest today. How it take go today?
Thank you very much, Madam Precious.
How the protest take?
The protests go well. We start with the converge around 7, but we don't move on till maybe 9, which is basically normal. I've been saying on Monday morning now, so some people even go up before they even come to protest. We want to use this opportunity also thank Take It Back movement members who made the sacrifice to come stand up for their country. We march towards Alausa. We pass the government office. As the march reach House of Assembly, 9 police start their drama. Barricade us.
Police?
Yes, now the barricade us say we don't go pass. So we say waiting be the problem.
Why are not go pass House of Assembly? House of Assembly not be public property.
No mind them,
them do that.
Freedom of movement. You prevent freedom of movement. Waiting you they shoot. So they sure they go back and forth. They give them say excuses. One of the excuses is say members know they there, or if you call them for us, But what we know, we say, since after answers, the government they always scared when any protest they move towards Alausa House of Assembly or Lekki Tollgate. So that is it. But obviously we found that we stood against it. But we continue our protests even where we were, But across other parts of the country, there were a lot of oppression and suppression, which
like this Yobe State now. What we hear say they arrest somebody for
Yobe
State. What's be the people crime we make the arrest for Yobe State?
Well, what? There's no crime, obviously. Do they have crime to arrest anybody in this country now? Even your TikTok and your Twitter is enough to get you arrested. So just by retweeting, even it's possible you get arrested. So nothing, just that we are in a government of tyranny, and we are not practicing democracy, obviously. But they will be released, and they must be released, except the government wants another round of protest in all those locations that they hold our people. In Yobe, in Abuja, and for the police officer that tear gas people at rivers, they will also pay for that crime.
Okay, so for Port Harcourt, we hear say they don't even let them near ground at all to gather. So did the procession eventually take place in Port Harcourt despite the wahala we didn't give them?
When they reach, they say, and they go another location. They start. They never use 10 minutes. Police say, you don't over. Now you the organize protest. Now you the coordinate. Why you go to tell person wey dey do protest say e don over? Now you go know when go over. No timetable or time for protest in this country. If I wake up 2 a.m. and I want protest, I dey protest with that. Police of us the ground. But they resisted when they told them that they should stop. And definitely when they resisted and said they are not going to leave, they started the tear gas and all. So they definitely have to leave that location and continue elsewhere before they dispatch. But once people are tear gassed, you lose some of your crowd and all that. But
and morale will just weak.
We want to also appreciate and thank those people in Rivers that despite being under a military regime, remind them that they still came out to resist. That's what the Take Over movement stands for.
All right. So waiting be the real idea, because I see some of the things we make on a say on our own those protests and say on a they really strongly against the cyber act and on I talk some things about security, hunger, and all of those issues. What's be those things again? If you remind us the reason for the protest, and after today, what next? And then waiting happened today. Would you say that you people achieved the aim for the waiting make on do the protest today?
Thank you so much. But Tinubu government deserves mega protest, like 24 hours, 7 days, 1 month, 3 months, 5 months until
non-stop.
Because
that type will happen for Egypt. So everybody they work place, they don't go anywhere.
No go anywhere. Shit there, peace there, whatever. Why? Because this government failure papa failure, big one. Donald Trump never used 4 or 5 months. They don't occupy New York.
They don't protest already. They don't vex or already.
Mad crap, But yeah, we did, and be like even though some of us still did protest, Nigeria still the pamper Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now,
so now Nigerians stand the day like this.
Yes, the pamper, but we did not start this this particular issue on the street. We start with press conference. We start with we did a press conference at Lagos, specifically at Aled. Then we move into online action, educate Nigerians, and also stand again. We also trended on Mute Me, that people should unmute and speak. Then we took it to the street. And what was it centered around? That the regime of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, together with his friends in the political class, have weaponized the Cybercrime Act. Now, that act was so terrible that people, lawyers, activists have been speaking about it for years, and they have been amending and amending. But each time they amend, they remove some terrible things and still inject a clause to still be holding on to Nigerians by the neck, because they want to keep on saving their heads. And that is what we have observed. And that is what we are pointing to Nigeria. And that clause is what they have been using to arrest people for tweeting, for sharing,
for talking on TikTok,
for speaking.
anything.
Imagine you are saying because of somebody is annoyed, so somebody will be arrested. Because of somebody is insulted, somebody will be arrested or like hatred or anxiety, kind of ambiguous and stupid issues. And I can begin to list people that have been arrested, in this government in 2024 alone by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so many of them, including Omo Elishore himself, Olumide, this guy called C King that was on TikTok.
Seeking,
Adeboye,
yes, seeking,
Adeboye arrested him.
Like say arrest now
Tinubu,
2 times or 3 times, he don't collect
yes,
arrest.
Adeboye arrested him, 17 days. Tinubu arrested him. Tinubu's wife, there's another person that spoke against Tinubu's wife. The referral to me also was someone that also was involved in something like this. Funke Olamide Thomas that spoke against Tinubu's son. These things are terrible. And what are they trying to do? They don't want to be spoken against. They don't want to be called out. They want to steal and get away with it. And that is so you are just gagged from speaking. So we are saying if you repel the Cybercrime Act, also it is clear that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not been serving Nigeria or operating his presidency like a democracy is supposed to be. And we have been speaking against it another. But it went further by putting and bringing a military rule specifically in Rivers State by suspending an elected governor, which is not supposed to be heard of in a democracy, like iron and fire, like in time of Babangida. And he further installed a retired naval officer and flooded the state with military men. That is totally against our constitution, and we are saying reverse this nonsense that you have done. That's one of the reasons why we come out. Then also other economic issues, hardship, hunger, insecurity, that is in the land. And like I said, why TIB is too strong, came to represent the people. We are still pampering Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigerians should be shut down until this man do the right thing or resign if you cannot. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So now, now with all these things, what I don't talk, if you say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu here, and what was the next step after this protest today?
Thank you so much. And that I will link this question up to, the question of, do we think we have achieved what we came out for?
Yes.
How to achieve what we want as a movement or our desire for Nigeria is not a walk in the park, and we know that it will take many of us. And what we want for a better Nigeria, what will give us a better Nigeria, is a revolution. That is it. Nothing else. No sideways. No backdoor. But while we are pushing and working for that, it is important that we continue to occupy the civil space. Because if you stop, if you give breathing space for your oppressors to breathe and to work, they will snuff you all out. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies is snuffing the life out of Nigerians. Literally, So what our protest has achieved today, and as we have been doing in the interim, is that we are maintaining the strength of the street, giving people more courage to keep pushing, to keep coming out, to keep fighting, and never abandon the street for the oppressors. What they want is that they kill, they destroy, they steal, and you are quiet, silently dying. That is not the kind of society that we want. So that is the interim in terms of the achievement. Also, as Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, where hearing is different from listening, and listening is different from implementing. As Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, yes, of course. In fact, even before we enter the streets, just a mere announcement that Take It Back movement is planning a protest, the entire state is already shaking and on anxiety and releasing statements like we are breaking bomb, So they have had, of course. But are they going to listen to what we said? Well, we pray they do and we hope they do. And we advise them to do because we're not going to leave the street. But in the conclusion, we need to understand that this government cannot 100% or cannot in full alliance do what is right by Nigerians because the government from the beginning planned to fail. What we are doing is to
why you think no, that's a serious accusation. Why you think the administration of Bola Tinubu planned to fail from beginning?
Of course, you can't buy your way and force your way into power and have any plan for the people. There's no way.
You thought he bought his way into power?
Oh, how did he? Are there not live video of Tinubu sharing money? It's online and everywhere now. And do you think it's only that person that gave money?
Apart from what a northern elder, a northern traditional ruler said that he told them in Aso Rock that he bought this position with his money. So say nobody could tell him make him leave. Apart from that, you get any other evidence where he carry money by position? Evidence.
Oh yes, there's evidence because during the campaign, during his primary alone, he shared dollars. One. Secondly,
but talk we hear him for here now. We not see him now.
There's no talk now. Delegate, they got dollars now. There are pictures everywhere. A candidate, what's his name now, from the East, even said it that showed the text message that I was not going to receive it. The candidate from the East, I've forgotten his name now. Maybe former Emo governor or former, Okorocha or something. Yes. And also, there's video online of Tinubu giving a bundle of cash to a man in the town hall meeting. And you think it's only that one that we do bundle? Even as at that time, there was naira scarcity. So, and not just the Tinubu, the APC government as a whole, the APC party as a whole has no plan for a progressive Nigeria. So if anybody think that, they're going to implement everything good, that people of us that are fighting and pushing with will. No, it's we that understand that policy that will implement it, not them. They will never do it. It does not favor them. It does not favor their corruption. It does not favor their mismanagement. The idea of government is to pack everything and give remnant to the people. You die, doesn't care. Health care is bad, doesn't care. Infrastructure terrible, it doesn't matter. You don't have a free education, no problem, as long as they are good. So while we are struggling and we are fighting, people need to understand that this government is not going to snappily do all our demands. The Ember government protest had about 15 demands. How many did they implement? Because even though if you read those demands, you see that it's for the betterment of everybody. They don't want the betterment for everybody. They want the betterment just for themselves.
So the thing, before we enter that conversation, I try very hard to see whether I could get somebody from Burkina Faso to join us for the conversation so that they could talk to us about what Ibrahim Traoré do for inside the country. But speaking about the things and way the presidents do or talk during bad governance protests, remember I say that period, in promise on a say, in go, say don't hear on a cry, right? Say in go make sure say in remove duty for some essential food items, including pharmaceutical products. Till now, the president no drum. And I don't ask him questions. See that promise he make for national broadcast, in sit down for TV make him. Why he never do him? And I don't ask him. As people will busy organize a protest.
The people will ever prepare the press conference, and the people will camera, and the APC supporter will push all the press release. Now they're supposed to lead the action now. They tell us, say, Tinubu don't give speech. More we hand them speech. And we tell them, say, it goes beyond speech. We know they leave the street, start implementation already. I remember I gave that speech probably on the 3rd or 4th day of protest.
Yes.
Or maybe 5th day. We tell them, they say, no, you don't not buy speech. Implement issues. But they just conjure those speech, and come and bamboozle Nigeria. In fact, he was probably forced to take that speech. Left for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we will continue to go all my business. They protest. He said it. You protest, you don't protest, he said it. And that is his attitude. It's the same thing. That is why a president had that his people want to protest. He just jet away to France. That's my business. He was probably just cajoled by his media guys and say, president, please, let's just do it. And okay, let me just. So he was just reading. It meant nothing. All what he was reading. It meant nothing. So we should ask those people that push the speech, and we should ask APC people that saying that the speech will give us results. For us, we knew already that this is just dilly-dally. And our demands were clear, not all those stories and lies and figures that he gave to us.
All right. Okay. So moving on to the conversation, as it were. Later on, I will play some highlights of these the protests of Nigerians, make Nigerians them see what happen. I think I don't do a video already on some highlights earlier in the day. I will also do more highlights videos as them, tell them later. But I like also get straight into what's in this Burkina Faso president's talk. I don't. They try to reach somebody from Burkina Faso to join us. About 2-3 of them. Unfortunately, they don't get time to join us today. Hopefully, they will join me tomorrow for inside the show. Make we even look at what Traore don't do since he become president. Now, the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, say the country they undergo a popular progressive revolution. I wish he call a revolution where they progressive. He call them a revolution where they say they undergo a popular progressive revolution under a democratic system. And not operating under a democratic system, rather. That means this popular progressive revolution no day under democratic system. Now, it can't add say it is difficult to pinpoint a country that has developed practicing democratic right, which transformed through democracy. Now, Traore made this disclosure during a flag-raising ceremony at the Koulouba Palace last week. He said, if we have to say it loud and clear here, the way it be, we are not in a democracy. We are in a popular progressive revolution. Call them military regime. It's in a popular progressive revolution. So you see what they do for Burkina Faso as a revolution. You don't even see them as a form of regime change. You see them as a revolution for the people of the Burkina Faso. Now, wait to make I think say we could talk about this. In fact, quoting him for that, he says we must necessarily go through a revolution, and we are indeed in a revolution. So, this question of democracy or libertinism of action, libertinism of action or expression has no place. As much as you think you are free to speak and act, the other is also free and to speak and act. And there, we end up with a society of disorder. If this person they free to speak and do what's in like, the other person they free to speak and do what's in like, then that means it will end up for society where we say in disorder. He criticized the notion that democracy is a prerequisite for development. That is for those who they talk say democracy. Now the only system of government who will help people develop inside a life. Say development need to happen for inside democracy. He say false. Now so you call them false. To believe any country has developed under democracy system, na big lie be that. He say it is impossible to name a country that has developed in democracy. Democracy is only the result. That is democracy, not the result they get after you don't develop. Not be saying that democracy make you develop. So now so you talk. So he said, in fact, he maintained that his government would continue to communicate, explain, and make people understand what revolution is. Traore has been notable for his decision after his emergence as the president of the West African country since he became come out of office. And I'm just 37 years old now. So I would like make we talk about this matter. You think, say, democracy not be for us, especially for Africa, and you believe, say, truly, any country will want a revolutionary change, no go fit get them inside democracy. Just like Traore talk.
Thank you very much for this
very
issue.
Conversation. So,
yes,
and you know, so that it's revolution now.
Yes, it did dicey, but it did simple actually. But I go employ your audience that may they listen, and also may they also do research on the issues we have to talk about. The problem of Africa, they say, we did too much stocked with a word. So we hear, when you hear first lady, everybody begin to say first lady, first lady. What's first lady? Is it even constitutional? By the time
It's
you
not
tell somebody,
constitutional.
yes, by the time you tell them, they say, so it's not constitutional. No,
In
but
fact, no vex. Part of my story now say your first lady Oluremi Tinubu carry 1 billion naira, 1 billion naira donates to fight against cervical cancer. No vex, how she use get the money? 1 billion naira. It's just like
they
they
have
talk
mixed
say,
it.
say her patients Jonathan use get 750 million, which she use buy jewelry, which she use to
Very,
oppress people.
they have mixed it. You know,
How she just get the money? 1 billion. If you tell her, me can't give account of the work where you work or
there's
business
no
where you take
account. There's no account of that
Yeah.
office because it's not constitutional. How will you account for something that's not even constitutional? You know, but Nigerians are stuck with that word. I'll give another example. The commander in chief. You know, what does it even mean? Nigerians are stuck with words, and we feel that it is word that will change society. It's not the word; it's the meaning. Now, do I care about the word democracy? Absolutely not. It's just a word that was given to us by our colonial masters. It really is not what makes our society better. It is the meaning. Now, what's the meaning of democracy? Democracy means a government for the people, by the people, and with the people.
And off. And off.
And of the
And the
people.
people. Meaning saying that the people then get them.
Yes. Now, if you look at that word, that meaning, does it make sense? Obviously, it does. To transform a society, if you are going to do it for the people, with the people, and by the people, and for the people, obviously, it is a good plan. Now, if you look at democracy as a word and the meaning, and look at all these societies that we're talking about that democracy is not working, are they doing a government for the people, by the people, and with the people?
Which societies be that one?
All the societies that claim to practice democracy, if you look at their government, is it for the people, by the people, and with the people? Using Nigeria as a case study, obviously the answer is no, it's not. So that means that in actual sense, we are not practicing the meaning of democracy. We just say the word. It is easy, the word democracy. Or like when the police tell us that we'll be peaceful, you are free to protest. We know that they are just saying it. They don't care that you are free to protest. The moment they get an opportunity, they tear gas you. Now, can Nigerians wake up and say, we're tired of this word? We even want to coin another form of our civil rule that will come into our Nigerian African culture. Yes, we can. You know, and from maybe we call our kind of rule, we call it Nigeria rulership. Whatever. Let's coin a word.
So you believe that Nigeria is not practicing democracy?
Obviously not. When? How? Is this democracy?
What do they practice?
What we have been practicing since 1999 that we go to our so-called democracy is democracy, one, autocracy, two, maladministration.
Maladministration?
Oh, yes. I want to call it mad. I like calling it mad. Mad. But those know that it is mal I'm talking about.
Oh, mad administration. I didn't get that.
Yes. So it is not the word. They do not care about the word. It is the practice. Now, to now what is said, when you want to transform a society, you have to look inward. And how do you look inward? You look inward by having a turnaround and say, what have we been doing? Has it been working for us? What is going on in our society? We need to get it better. So you have a turnaround and say, okay, we're not going this way anymore. We need to sit down
and stop what we are doing and reshape our society. That's exactly what I said and explained now is the meaning of revolution. That is where I agree with the president of Burkina Faso. That you need to revolt against a system that is not working for the multitude. It's not about the few in power now. It's not about Tinubu and his cackle. It's not about the senator. Calculate all of them. 36 governors, 109 senators, 360 hours of rep, all their permanent secretary, all of them, they are not up to 3,000.
That is the people where they do us this thing, we put us this strong thing inside.
Yes. So when the multitude realize
240 million of us in Nigeria, they don't even reach 1 million of us.
They are not a million, they're not up to a million. And we realize that this system is not working for us, and we revolt, a turnaround, and say enough of this kind of system, and the people that are making that system, that empowering that system, who put a stop to them, then that is the beginning of the transformation of our society. After you have revolt, then
so you're saying that perhaps something will be likely like what's happened for Ghana with J. Rollins. Like what's need to happen?
Oh yes, but I'm not. But they are different kind of revolution.
Okay,
they are different kind of revolution, and Nigerians need to understand that. And this is YouTube, so let me speak freely.
Yeah, speak freely. Speak freely. I mean,
now, if you ask me personally, as a citizen, as a human being, that do I support, the kind of revolution that is done is on revolution with arms? I will tell you that I cannot do it. I don't believe in taking lives. I believe in peaceful revolt, and I think it's possible. But if some people have been pushed to the brain and they feel that that is the way to go, and they want to take out the people that have been killing, do you know a single politician has killed millions of people with his action of stealing? Just by stealing 200 million, you have killed some 20,000 that's supposed to benefit from that 200 million. It's up to them. But that is not what we stand for personally. And that's not what I will stand for. But will I see people that want to do that and begin to crucify them? I'm not in their society. I cannot judge for what they are doing. But
all right, so going to the question directly, are you in support of what the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, said, that no country, say it's hard for you to pinpoint countries where don't develop if you get to go back to history, where it's based on through democracy, not then develop? Is it true?
I cannot say I agree, because like I explained, practicing the meaning of democracy is different from saying you are practicing democracy. Now, countries that did a government of the people, for the people, by the people, it might not be that same definition, but they put their people first, they will develop. And go and look at any country that is developing today. It is the people first. The people are the government. The people are the workers. The people are the one in power. It will develop, not the world. I'm not stuck. Nigeria should not be stuck to that word democracy, and not just Nigeria, Africans. I tell you today, I'm precious. If I become the president of Nigeria today, that word democracy, I will scrap it. Why? It has been misused, abused, and bamboozled. We will sit down. This is the kind of government we want to, and we will coin a name that Nigerians will understand. It might even be broken. So that it's not just going to be the meaning. Even the word, you understand how a government is supposed to serve you. So Ibrahim Traoré might be right that those that begin to claim we are doing democracy. See, any country that begin to shout democracy, 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 and they are singing it like a song, trust me, they are not doing the meaning. Countries that are practicing the meaning of democracy, it will work. There's no way it will not work. See, if your government is for the people, by the people, and with the people, you will not kill your people. You will not steal from your people. You will not take the resources of people and take it out of the country. You will not be having a first lady. You will not be stealing. You will not be using our money to buy jewelry. You will not be traveling out of the country, going to France, coming back. You won't do that, because the people first. Now, this is the difference in what's going on in Burkina Faso and the kind of revolution that we are talking about. our people, and I used to say it, I've tweeted it, that when there's a coup,
because
when there's a coup,
go get people from
yeah. So and that is what there's something that is said that is important, which I'm going to say. He said he will continue to educate the people to understand what revolution is. And do you know why that education is important?
Yes.
The revolution in quotes of Burkina Faso was a backdoor revolution. Let me explain. It is a military coup. The people might have protested, but the people did not take over the system. It was done for them by the military. Now,
is, by the way,
if this military, like that of the former president of Burkina Faso, who ruled for 4 years, even though it was military and transformed that region, Thomas Sankara, the great Thomas Sankara, if the military that did the coup have ideology, it has an advantage. But the disadvantage is that since it's a military coup, it gives door for another coup sponsored by colonial masters and local.
Oh, by the way, we don't survive so many assassinations. Almost every year now and then.
And it is the people that can protect.
In fact, they even try to pay AIDS them. They even pay the own AIDS them. They even pay AIDS them to kill them. In people they protect them to kill them.
Oh yeah, that is the disadvantage. That is the disadvantage.
Why do you think people are eager to have him dead? Really? If truly what they do, the transformational. If they do transformational things for people of Burkina Faso.
It is not the people. It is the colonial masters that want to continue the world democracy was sold to us so that they can continue to ply our resources. It is the colonial masters, France specifically, that want to continue to mine Burkina Faso for their own growth. It's not the people. You think somebody will just wake up and just want to kill somebody if it's not sponsored and paid? So because of that, if the people are not educated enough to understand the ideology behind this kind of government, they will not stand and protect that government. But if the people had understood, moved to the street with the ideology, and took over the system that put them in oppression, and had the revolution, and had the referendum on how they will rule, it will be easy for them to continue because they have had understanding. So it was a backdoor because many of them don't understand. Some of them don't understand. Many of them are not ready for it. They just saw someone, took out some people, and they brought an ideology on how to rule. So we tell Nigerians that stop hoping for a military coup, a military regime, especially in the fact that.
So revolution can happen without military. That's what you're saying.
Oh yes, it can. Why not? And I'll give you an example. Like I said, there are different kinds of revolution. There's the peaceful and there's the armed revolution. Do we want armed? No. You know, people don't have to die for rubbish. But am I going to blame people that did it and got their society to work? No, I was not in that society. I did not face what they faced.
Thank you. AY, somebody don't get backstage to join us for the conversations. But we could bring them in here with you and one talk. Thanks, Sat. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Kindly unmute yourself and quickly speak on the conversation if you would like to.
Thank you very much, Madam Precious.
Go ahead.
And,
sir.
Hello, Comrade Ayoyinka. I take it that when people have the appellation Comrade, they have something to do with communism or socialism or something like that. They're not really capitalists. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that you said earlier that I want to make clear that any kind of authoritarian government, including a military government, no matter how friendly or useful they are, we have to reject that. We're beyond that now, right? The problem we have in our country is not the type of government per se, but people get the kind of government they deserve, right? I think that's a quote. I don't have it in order, but it's a quote by Thomas Jefferson. So the people deserve the kind of government they have.
And I do not agree with that quote. It's okay. I've always said that. That quote and the other quotes that says that our leaders are a reflection of who we are. I never agree with those quotes. And I'll give you my reasons, but this is not about me. So let me let you go ahead.
No, you could. I encountered you once at Dr. Damage's as a guest, but Mr. Traoré misunderstood. I totally misunderstood you. I believe that you're very wise and you're sound, right? So anytime you could come in, but what you're gonna have to notice about me is that I don't give up my opinion that easily. Everything I say is fact. So once somebody begins to disagree with me, they do so at their own peril. Now here's what I'm saying.
While I understand that
Nigeria,
facts in this context is relative, but let me still let you learn. Go ahead.
Okay, well, facts, if it's not really relative. But we'll talk about that philosophically later on. What I'm saying is that Nigeria could be exempt from that quote only because they vote and then they're rigged. So it's not like they're not politically savvy, right? But they're able to be rigged because of our wickedness and iniquity, right? Iniquities. Nigerians are very wicked. They're tribal, and they have religious animals and all kinds of uneducated people. There's so many things going on there that's making that happen. I believe that Mr. Comrade speculated about 1,000 people holding us down. Okay, now you do know that they do have our enemies foreign, and then when you talk domestically, we have about 1,000. That's true, but we have a formidable foreign enemies who covet our resources. Just like they don't even change style. What they do in Congo, they do here. What they do in Somalia, they do here. They've been doing it, from time immemorial. Now, when you look at human beings and you look at the numerics, the numbers, it does. One Einstein, it can defeat billions of people. Let's say he just kept his E equals MC squared and developed nuclear weapons with it. He could take over a whole universe, basically, of imbeciles. So what we are confronted with in Nigeria, I think somebody said it more eloquently before, maybe Comrade, there has to be a kinetic force in Nigeria to take our country back. You cannot do it democratically. That's true. I agree with that. But we should not resort to military or any kind of authoritarian government or communism and stuff like that, because it's still going to be bad because of these wicked Nigerians. If they're military or they take off their uniforms and put on a toga, they're still malleable and can be used by others. So it's not the economic system or the political system. Now, because they've taken over the courts, right? I mean, you can't even believe how much our courts are gone. The courts are gone. So when you look at the courts,
way out. So what is the way out? We can't do it through military. We can't do it through arms, and So what's the way out?
Here's the way out. That's a very good question, and it's very pertinent. That's what we should go to every time we're on a platform. How do we get out of this? In my opinion, now here's my opinion. Seldom do I give that up, but I'm gonna give you one now. We need to educate between now and a few months from now. Nigerians have to be educated as to how evil it is that we don't have courts. So we do have to go to the natural laws. We have to take our country back first. There's no other way. You cannot do it any other way. We have to use kinetic force to take our country back like others have done. It's not new. In every country, once in a while. Now, that's why I agree with Comrade. At this point now, it's not democracy. It's not military. We have to take the people are sovereign. You be amazed what the people can do if they say no. We cannot exist without our court.
The same people that were tear gassed today for coming out to say no in Port Harcourt to military regime in their state.
Right.
The same people that were tear gassed in Abuja.
Yes.
The same people that are hungry. Yeah, how many of them do you think would have the resilience to stay back and continue to push?
That's not the people right there. See, what happened is that somebody like Showore, who I have a lot of respect for, I like Showore, right? But his wickedness is reflected in what he's doing out there. He's not the people.
What do you mean by his wickedness? Can you buttress that point? Let's understand.
Yeah, the semblance of the people was shown in 2023, where there was a galvanization when the people decided that they want a different direction. So they decide to go for Labour Party, for example, Peter Obi. Okay, that's how the people. You're not gonna get 100%. You need a threshold. So, but somebody like Traore sold his prestige when he didn't join that coalition. He lost a lot of people. He belonged in that coalition.
Are you saying that because he does not believe that Peter Obi is not the one to rescue Nigeria, because he thinks that Peter Obi is part and parcel of this same group of people, that makes him an evil person?
Yes, it does, in the sense that what he was, people like me and others were trying to find out why isn't this a good movement? Why isn't Peter Obi capable to lead the movement? And he gave the reason that you just gave now. He says he used to be in the PDP. So that made no sense, right? So time and time again, he did the same thing. It's not a Peter Obi phenomenon. He did the same thing under Jonathan and Buhari when there was a binary choice to be made. He showed poor judgment, right? He said that they're the same. They're not the same. Peter Obi and Buhari are not the same. He did the same thing with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and other public servants. He keeps accusing them of corruption. So he lacks judgment. So he lost.
Are you saying that Okonjo-Iweala did not ruin this country as finance minister?
Yeah.
Are you saying Jonathan did not ruin this country as the president?
Yes.
Things are wrong. If they did, then that's a fact. It has nothing to do with Traore. You know?
No, but listen now,
and
Comrade.
Just like you said that there was a movement in 2023, there was a movement in 2015 of Buhari. So was Buhari a good leader? So it's not about majority having a movement. It's about what that movement stands for. If the movement stands for hypocrisy and corruption, and they accept every criminal that support them, we're not going to get anything different from Buhari and Tinubu. Simple, that's what we are saying. So a movement cannot be built on lies. IBB supports Peter Obi, hail IBB. When he doesn't, we crucify IBB. OBJ support Peter Obi, hail OBJ. Once he doesn't support, we crucify OBJ. That is not a movement that will change Nigeria. So that has nothing to do with Traore. Even if Traore is not speaking on that issue, and any Nigerian is doing that, that is the right thing because of the hypocrisy. Let the people move with an ideology that is right. Obviously, Traore will support. Why would he not?
Okay, let me say something.
And he joined it, you know.
Try to hear me out. Let me say you are misconstruing what I said. When you have, for example, in 2015, right? You have candidates emerge and rise to the top, and there's a binary choice to be made at some point. You then have to choose from those two. That's the way it is even in the United States. You cannot be comparing arbitrary saints with those two candidates. You have to choose between those two. There'll be a judgment call at some point because you have a binary choice. That's when there's a
are you saying that Trump wasn't particularly a saint, but the US citizens had to choose between him and Kamala Harris?
Exactly. And
irrespective.
Those who contested.
So they are literally forcing us to make decisions based on the elite. They just force people down our throat and play the mathematics, and Nigerians just have to look for the lesser evil. You cannot change this.
No, but listen, Comrade, it's not me. That's the way things are, right? Unfortunately, in any situation, for example, in 2023, Traore should run against Peter Obi and the rest of them. He should be in there running. But if the people at some point reject him and choose somebody else, then he has to look left and right and say, okay, look, the people have made a choice. Peter Obi is better than.
And I'll support this person.
You're supposed to have a judgment call at that point, right? You should have done it in 2015. You should have done it in 2023. You're supposed to run. I'm not saying don't contest, but you cannot, by fiat, command people to have you lead them if they don't want you. So now, it's an evolution or something. Nigeria is not going to have a Jeffersonian president overnight. Even the United States hasn't perfected it yet. So you're not going to go.
United States is not an example for a sane society. That's one of the biggest capitalist system in the world.
That was just an example. I'm saying you're not going to jump from military government to a Jeffersonian president that has all the stuff checked off, right? So we have to go from a Jonathan to maybe Peter Obi, and then maybe to Traoré, or maybe to you, and then finally to me, and then maybe with Precious there. But here's what I'm saying to you. You're going to have to cut your coat according to your size.
You see that you're still selfish because you had to choose yourself before choosing Ayoyinka and I. You see, at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're the same.
So
at the end of the day, why did you not come to me before you went to yourself? You see, it's okay.
That's not a revolution, though. That's just choosing what you get and accepting whatever comes. So we don't have to blame Tinubu anyway, you know.
All right, so Mr. Pensat, let me quickly put this on you before you drop off your call. Yeah, what do you think about Peter Obi joining forces with Atiku Abubakar and El Rufai in SDP to oust Tinubu in 2027, considering the drama going on right now in Labour Party? Now, I'm sure you're aware that as of today, Peter Obi, and what we call the leader of the national leader of the Labour Party, who is Alex Otti, the person with the highest position in the party, called for a NEC meeting today. And the Abure team, NEC, are threatening to sanction both Peter Obi and Alex Otti for calling such a meeting. So with all this drama going on, considering after the Supreme Court judgment, the Abure team is still holding tight onto power, that they're the ones, in spite of the fact that the court's audio had surfaced, which showed that or reflect that Abure should actually be kicked out. But they're still maintaining that they're the ones that owns the structure in the Labour Party, and that's what the party, the Supreme Court has emphasized on. So what do you think about Peter Obi joining SDP because of these issues in Labour Party? Would you still support him if he joins ship with El Rufai? I don't want to say of all people, but of all people.
I hear you. Now, let me say,
that
this is my
especially
opinion.
the of all people.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I can hear you, and I know exactly what you mean. It will be. It's up to him. I already know that Peter Obi won that election the last time. His problem is not the votes; it's counting the votes. He doesn't need any coalition. Now, I used to like Abure, believe it or not. He's a fighter. He won that last election. I fell off with Mr. Niger Watch over at Niger Watch because of Abure. Abure is not a choir boy. He's not a candidate. In that country, all political party chairmen are just as guilty or worse than he is. He's not supposed to be a saint. He's a fighter. But it's none of my business. I'm not in the Labour Party. Peter Obi, his problem, he ought to hear what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying to him. His problem is not the votes. He won that election by a wide margin. He might have won up to 30 states. His problem is counting the vote. INEC has no respect. Buhari had no respect for Nigerians. That's who rigged that election. It's not Tinubu. Tinubu is incapable of rigging that election. He's going to be out. He's not 10 foot tall. Now, the last conversation we had to do what we have to do. I never did give you my opinion on that. What we have to do to take our country back is where we are now. It's not a Peter Obi fault. Peter Obi won that election. He doesn't need to associate himself with a murderous character such as El Rufai, right? He doesn't need to do that. The moment he does that, he's going to lose a lot of support, right? He's not going to be, enlarging his base. He's going to be losing a lot once he associates himself with El Rufai, who has no political capital, zero. He didn't deliver Kaduna for Tinubu the last time around. And he has a lot of crimes, as far as alleged crimes that includes murder, mass murder. I know, for example, in that December 2015 massacre in Zaria, his hands are very, very dirty with that. And he needs to be going to The Hague. Peter Obi should not underestimate his support. He should not go forming any alliance with anybody. As a matter of fact, he should stay in that Labour Party. If Labour Party wants to have, if Abure could claw his way back in there, his problem is not Abure. Abure was a very good chairman of that party. He's not a saint. So I have nothing against Abure. So now, but there are traps they've set for him because Tinubu is totally corrupt with a bunch of ignorant Nigerians, foolish Nigerians, who let them get away with that stuff. And they know they let them get away with it. Look at River State, how they could remove a governor there, right? Undemocratically. Do you know why? Not even River State. It's all a setup for Southeast because they want to penetrate that area. So all these people are going to be playing along. They want to be taken over. They want a military government because Nigerians are very wicked. They don't want Southeasterners to be a part of that country and be happy in that country. And I'm leveling that because I've studied it very carefully. These River State people, if they want, they wouldn't allow Tinubu to do what he did there. But just like what
all right, Mr. Spencer, time is fast spent. We need to get to other conversations so that it can help me, wrap up quickly. So that
I appreciate it, but I want to say to you that there's a couple of things that are sacrosanct here. There's not that much conversation to be had. What we're talking about is very important. Comrade, I'm also employing you, young people like you, Traoré. You're going to have to join forces. Abandon, jettison this socialism or communism is totally anathema to our future. The United States, right? They held you money, like you have no respect for the United States, but I'm going to tell you, don't carry that as you're doing whatever you're doing. United States is indispensable. It's not a bipolar war and stuff like that. The United States is important, and that's also the only way Peter Obi is going to get to be president is that he has to go outside of that country, come to the United States, make his case to congressmen here and the Trump administration. He has to make that case that France has to take their dirty hands off of our country and make sure that the next
if he does not join forces with the West or the other faction of the West, he cannot gain power. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Comrade, I'll be looking forward to seeing you so we can have a dialogue. It's very important. I want you on my side.
No problem.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much. Sir, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so Aya, let's quickly move on to other conversations because we have quite an error. Would you like to jump in on that Atiku and Peter Obi joining SDP to oust
Yeah, so it's basically I don't need to speak much on that. I'll just take Nigeria's mind back. Whatever Atiku Obi, Rufai, and whoever conjoined, it has been done before. It was done in 2015. There's nothing that came out of it. So Nigerians should stop going in circles. If you want to get
Peter
it right,
Obi did not join them in 2015.
Get it right.
Peter Obi did not join them in 2015. That I will argue with you. He did not join them. Atiku was PDP that left PDP to APC, and Peter Obi did not join them.
I will tell you the point where Obi came in. Obi came in first working for Buhari in the stock exchange. Then that was towards the end of 2018. Then in 2019, joining with Atiku. Atiku, Buhari, Tinubu, there's no difference, these people. It's just different tribes, different temperaments.
Okay,
so
now
it's just basically drama that will not achieve anything. And we cannot join so. We want to solve the problem of Nigeria for Nigerians, not just to get into politics and be a governor and you're not going to achieve anything. What's the point?
All right, so talking about joining process and all that, that Sheikh Husani decamped from PDP, joined APC. Now they don't nominate them as ambassadorial nominee. Femi Fani-Kayode, they were don't abuse and insult people. Tire now if the ambassadorial. In fact, the way they even screen them as in handle this thing discreetly, people don't even know at all. Rain or mockery your friend. All the insults when you don't insult people tire for inside Twitter, he has not gotten his reward. The one which shock people past now, Enugu former governor Ugwenyi, Abi Ugwenyi, and Okeze Bazo of Abia State. Could that be a reward for Wike? Because those people are Wike's friends. And they kept mute during the 2023 election as to who they were supporting. Remember, even though they were still in PDP at that time. They were weakest faction. They were part of the protesting PDP at that time. So what do you make of this list? This kind of people, as the people who would be the image makers of Nigeria to different countries. Are these the best that we have that would project our image to other countries?
Well, the people that you are projecting image for only know Nigeria to be wanting a country where their rulers sell out their people. It's business, so they don't care about the image the person is bringing. They just want you to give them names and the ambassadors, and they welcome them. Buratai is an ambassador for one African country for Nigeria. Buratai was a terrible chief of army staff, very terrible, corruption and everything, So it's not about Nigeria. It's not about character. It's not about integrity. It's just about what can we use to continue to tame these people, continue to control them for our purpose. That's all. So ambassador does not mean good people in Nigeria. All the ambassadors in Nigeria, who are they from Nigeria to other countries? They're terrible people. Some of them even with criminal records. So there's nothing special about it. It's just Tinubu once again trying to buy as much as possible. That's all he has been doing. All this in the 2027 election.
So this one, I just people to help and push the election for 2027. I'm making the Biden. Now speaking about election for 2027, rumor been come out earlier today. Rumor been come out earlier today. Said the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman INEC said they don't pursue him. In fact, they don't get person to replace him. But later, INEC even released statement saying, "Allah, you say Mahmoud still." They remember saying 10 will go expire very soon. I will be done. They hear say President Tinubu don't be fish for somebody we could replace him, and all that. Considering how nepotistic people don't complain about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, how you take C? What do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do in terms of the person who could replace Mahmoud Yakubu?
Yeah, so I believe Mahmoud Yakubu tenure should even have ended. Except I don't know how many years they are supposed to use. He handled Buhari's election, if I'm not mistaken. And
2019.
Yeah, he did. And also handled 2023 election. So he has used over 4 years already. So I don't know how many years. It's supposed to be an 8 years tenure, Even
they doubled the tenure that can renew now for 8 years.
Oh yeah, so new has it that he even paid to be renewed. That's what is on Sahara Reporters, So, and with the terrible election that I conducted last time, should have been sacked immediately. But if the person that benefited from a terrible election is the one that's present, of course, why would they sack him, So, but what I know about politics from my experience is that when you hear any rumor, there's a smoke, there's always a smoke. So there's possibility that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is actually hunting for who can hold the fort for him. If he does not see, he won't make the mistake of removing. He rather leave Mahmoud there if he doesn't see. So what they are just doing is what INEC just did was to find a way to save Mahmoud from the outburst of Nigerians. Because if Nigerians are serious about that man getting out of power and they launch a massive protest, like some of us suggested before 2023 election, Tinubu will have no choice than to remove him. Just like what the idea of police is doing, trying to make sure that everybody's happy so that the noise around him leaving that position can reduce. Yeah, that's exactly. So the police will give you a vote of confidence. That one will give a vote of confidence. Now they did National Police Day for the first time. Everything is just to make things happy so that there will be less noise on him. It's probably only the Take It Back movement that is saying this man should have resigned because his tenure has ended. So basically, that's what INEC did, because he still controls the media of INEC. That's what INEC did for Mahmoud. And if Tinubu sees the positive news, say probably let's just leave this man. But there's no smoke without fire. Obviously, Parliament is fishing for another controller that will be pumping in the numbers for him for 2027. Nothing more.
Okay, so moving on to Natasha Akpoti and Akpabio case. A particular group, where they call the Transition Monitoring Group of Nigeria, the foremost independent civil society election observation organization for Nigeria. They don't complain, say they don't appreciate the way the Nigerian Senate just conducts themselves for this Akpabio matter. The fact say they know do thorough investigation for Akpabio matter. But a lot of people they talk say this complaint, whether they complain, it hold any water. Whether they complain or they no complain or the thing it will make any difference because Akpabio will do what he has to do, and Nigerian Senate they do it in they do. They say they stand by their rule. They do it in they do. So, do you think that the observation or statement by any of these observation groups that really matter for inside these things that happen for Nigeria?
So basically, it's not even about the day conduct, and there was no investigation whatsoever. There was no investigation whatsoever regarding Akpabio. Nothing. All what the panel or whatever they set up in their committee sat down to do was to cook up how to suspend Natasha. There was no, they didn't care about two stories of Akpabio. They didn't care about, oh, he did not allow the bill to go because of sex for bill. They don't care. They don't care. So there was no investigation, So, and it's not just about Akpabio or about Natasha's case. Generally, the 10th Senate is the worst that we have had. We have never had a better Senate, but this 10th Senate is the worst. They have always been about money, funds, and everything. They don't care about what Nigerian feels, So the solution has to be to revolt against the Senate. There should be protests against Akpabio, protests against the conduct of the Senate till they resign or get it right. There was a space today that they were discussing how to actually recall senators. I hope Nigerians join and they start that step to whatever it needs to get these people out of there or sit up, it will be good. Let's assume Nigerians find a way to recall Akpabio itself. Anybody that's going to take over that position will be sharp. Well, I don't want to be an Akpabio. Let me try at least to do what is right by the people, not this rubber stamp that we have. So if people say when human rights groups talk and complain doesn't hold water, well, the answer I will give to you is why do they respond when they talk? You cannot speak the truth and say it will not hold water. It will. The people that are running this country so much care about how they are perceived publicly. Even though they are crooks privately, they don't want it to be known. They don't want it to be said. They want to continue to act like they are normal. Obviously, they are not normal. And we don't have a Senate. We just have, 108 terrible men sitting in a chamber and passing laws that they don't even know anything about. So kudos to them. But my call to Nigeria is to revolt against.
All right. So before I let you. So before I let you go, I'm sure you would have heard about this drama where it happened for inside in Lagos State. The whole, kind of a very unpleasant relationship between father Bola Tinubu and his son Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and waiting get to do with that animosity and waiting can lead to the EFCC declaring Aisha wanted. I'm sure you know the Aisha I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Declaring her wanted.
In
fact, yes. So our what do they call him? Our bagman. She been a bagman, they call him. Our bagman, yeah. So in fact, some gossip don't even carry. Some people can't even carry the gossip. Say once upon a time, this same Aisha will not get something to do with Gospel Akpabio self. Say even confiscate Gospel Akpabio money and property one time self onto these things like that. But that's a matter for another day. Now we hear say the presidency don't withdraw security details. The police will give Oba Oniru and Oba Elegushi of Lagos State. And say what make it they do because of the governor, because of their support for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to comot Obasa. That's how he comot Obasa. So now you don't withdraw their details then. So they don't get those security details. If our people will pass around these palaces over the weekend, if you tell say, say before now, security van did this station for those places like Oba Elegushi or Oba Oniro Palace to show say now Oba please say they don't come on those police van them waiting there. They don't come on there, say they go rest. And say the Oba get to go invite private security people to come station for front of a palace. Say even buy them new suits so that they could look at it, make them resemble DSS. Say because say you don't know when they could feel replace the government's security, where did they give them back? This one way they smile like this. Why? Share the matter serious like this. And should it be this bad that, waiting Natasha talk when she say why Akpabio will withdraw her details if EPC deliberately want to endanger her life? Not be waiting the presidency could they do like this if EPC they deliberately withdraw the details of these kings, because knowing how volatile Lagos can be in terms of security, knowing say truly their life be in danger. The same Lagos, so if you say them pickets about Lagos Palace, do you understand? Because of annoyance, anger, and protest. So that one not be to call for their vulnerability, make them deliberately vulnerable, if actually that story is true, as reported by People's Gazette.
So the Oba, say Nigeria not safe. I don't know, say no. I don't know at all. I think say it's safe. Because Obas, which are traditional rulers, are supposed to be the voice of the people, to speak for their people. Before we had a form of government that we have today, they were the one ruling. It was the Obas that were ruling. They were the judge, they were the jury, with their chiefs. So the Obas know that there's no security. Quickly went to go and get another security. It should have left the place now. So I will not speak here and begin to sympathize with same oppressor, traditional oppressor and political oppressor. There's nothing to sympathize about. But to state the obvious that all this is happening because the traditionals too across our country has lost their respect. They have been bought, they are sold out. Some of them are drug dealers, some of them are woman traffickers, some of them are money launderers, some of them are illegal miners, people that we call over. One was arrested in abroad recently. So, it's a terrible society.
What? You they call our over them.
Some of them are illegal
miners.
Some of them are the one allowing illegal mining across our states, Osun State or your states. They are reviewed to this across the country. Have you not had Fulani herdsmen saying they pay some mobile before they can come to the town and start eating people's crops? So these guys have lost their respect. So that is why, and they are appointed. They are appointed by the politician. It's no longer Ifa and Amadiora that is saying who will become our king. It's no longer the culture. It's money and power.
Absolutely. Not before, that's how it be.
Oh, yes. So if the culture and the elders cannot determine who will be their king, and it's the politicians that are choosing them, of course, the politician will do them anyhow when they want to do them anyhow. So if the traditional leaders are interested in getting back their honor, they should go within and stop all their corruption, stop all their supporting of evil, and start doing what is right. Then they will be respected. Imagine as they withdraw the police of the Oba and the people in the town, in the community, come out and say, "Oh, we will protect our king because he protects us." We will be happy, but he knows the people don't care about him. He knows that some of them help in rigging election in Lagos. We know. They had to protest that the polling unit be removed from the front of the Upper Palace because he will make sure everything is cooked for the APC in the last election. So there's no pity to these people, but they are disturbing Nigerians with their dramas, wasting taxpayers' money on what is not important. The House is not sitting because of issues of Obasa and Co. When we have pressing issues in Lagos. Do you know they are kidnapping in Lagos? Do you know that the police in Lagos they detonated a grenade in Mushin? In Lagos. So what they want to disturb us about is not bad that they remove. These guys are shameless people. And it's sad. So I don't care about them. But obviously, we're not in a democratic society. But if we're in a democratic society and a king deserves security and you are withdrawing it because of a personal issue, there's something wrong with the king and the president and all of them. It's control, it's power. Tinubu is not a president, it's not a democratic president, he's an emperor. And he has slaves, he has servants, and he has people like us that are fighting. You can call them rebels or whatever word you want to use. But basically, majority of those that say, so the king is probably one of his slaves, probably one of his servants, and he has to obey. He dare not come out and talk against Tinubu. I dare him to come out and speak against Tinubu. I dare him. So the confusion.
So those two kings are not fit talk anything.
They dare not. Can they? Have you seen any king release anything and say the president, especially in Southwest? How dare they? These guys are weaklings now. A whole king that was chosen by the gods of the land. It's sad. They will settle their issue.
You mean even including the highest power for inside Western world? Okay, all right. So very quickly, very embarrassingly, we just hear say Saudi Arabia don't withdraw visa, don't suspend visa for Nigeria, Egypt, and 12 other countries ahead of Hajj. So somehow it's a bit of good news for Nigeria because at least we'll get 9 billion naira we will use sponsor Hajj this year. Somehow maybe not be such a good news again because exactly. So what do you think about this? Saudi understanding say Nigerian pilgrimages now then in fact Nigerian pilgrimages make for one of the top most pilgrimages for inside Hajj most times when they go Hajj. So why Saudi Arabia not even respect us enough to know say even we wait there for this Africa now we even practice Islam past them? Why they go do that kind of thing to Nigerians? Why?
So basically Nigeria is the only country that we hear that the ban visa and we are concerned, because we want to japa. That's it. If our country was working, who cares whether they ban? Do you think it's easy to enter a plane and fly across the Red Sea and the Atlantic Ocean to another man's land, where you can be in the land of your country enjoying the milk and the honey? And so we feel bad about that. When Trump did his own, people are losing their studentship in the US now because of what Trump is doing. Is it supposed to be so? But talking about personally, if I'm president, I cancel it immediately. Nothing like that. If you want to travel, go and give for your money and travel. How dare you? How dare you as a country that's supposed to be a country with no religious practice, everybody practice what you wish. You pay money for people to travel to Jerusalem or to Mecca. For what? When they are burning issues. It's sad. So I'm not even interested in why Saudi Arabia cancelled or why they did not. I'm more interested in why are we wasting money.
They cancelled family and business visas. They don't talk and now say, well, they go fit permit people to come in for during Hajj. Say those who they duly registered for Hajj will still come in. That means somehow they still like our money to enter inside there.
They like
come
the money.
To come perform their religious practices.
Why countries will continue to disrespect us?
Family visa, they no go give you. No come for family or business.
Oh, exactly. Why these countries continue to disrespect us is three things, obviously. One, Nigerians, when they get to a place, they take charge of the economy. One. Two, there are also people that will go there to commit crimes, obviously, And three, some countries also look at their resources and see if is it possible for them to maintain. It might be housing crisis, something might be whatever. But my point is that if our country is working, we will not be trooping out of the country. So for me, it is hard for me to care that people cannot travel. Why will I care? Why will I? What I care about is that we solve the damn problem of this country. I don't care if someone tells me, I couldn't travel with the council. I almost don't care. I understand that you want to rescue yourself from Nigeria, and if you rescue, I'm happy for you. But for me to care that they are banning our visa, it's almost not. It's almost. If we get our country working, and our economy is beautiful and sweet, countries will be looking for us because we will not be traveling that easily. They'll be looking for our money. Now they are getting it easily. Do you know how much the UK and the US is getting on the aviation sector alone with the rate of Nigerians that are traveling, including students and all that? I'm talking about billions of dollars just because of Nigeria want to get making money from us. We have to get our country to work. But for those that are going to miss a job or whatever because of this ban, I absolutely do not care. For those that have been benefiting from the government, you are part of the people ruining our society. Getting money to travel is sad. Go and work and travel for your religious trip. A country should not be paying anybody to travel. And that's how it's also like Yeah, so that you continue to support us. We sponsor your trip. We should be sponsoring education in Nigeria. We should sponsor healthcare. Did you not see the video of the man that lost his wife because of 500,000 naira?
I'm telling you, that was very painful.
We
Very
lose
painful.
a lot of women.
Very painful.
To see it.
Very painful.
Women. You know, if you ask me and I know him, I will have told him, man, don't put her into way. Probably use condom, because this country is terrible. You might have gotten because his first two children, probably the last one, he got her probably 9 years ago. So the woman has gotten older and her body is no longer strong. Probably the last time she gave birth was traditional way also. He felt that one could work. But it didn't work out. The lady died. It's poverty, nothing else. But imagine if there's free healthcare, if we have trial centers are working and they can do delivery, you know. They are not sponsoring that. They are not sponsoring education. It's hijab or whatever, or Jerusalem. These guys are just jokers, wasting the life of Nigerians. Jokers. I do not care about anything about
even with the hunger we get last year. Even with the hunger last year, they spent over 9 billion naira. But I think it's crazy. But
it is a contract. It's a contract. It's a contract. There are people in charge of it. It's a contract.
Yeah, and people complain though. People still complain that they were cheated. That means the money not really reach
contract. That's why I said it's a contract.
That is the money where can't reach the people, no reach within government.
It's sad. Very sad.
Anyway, I'd like to appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for part of the conversation. Let me open the floor for Nigerians to jump in right now. I appreciate it. I know your time is fast spent. I had to let you go. Let me quickly take reactions from Nigerians as whilst I let you go. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And let's push on. So when do we hear news of protest?
Very soon, very soon. You know, say we move, we wind. We are spiritual people. Anything can connect.
All right.
You can get it.
All right, thank you.
All right. But the protest continue online and on the media.
I appreciate you. And of course, you know that I'm always in support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, Comrade Ayinka Onyi is a comrade and an activist, and you heard him say all of those. Phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts, your reactions, and the conversations we've raised tonight. Kindly call me on WhatsApp on 0817-029-4077, or most preferably, call the click on the join me live in the studio directly. So click on the link that is on the pinned post. So if you go to the comment section on YouTube, there is a pinned post, and in that pinned post you'd see a link. Just click on that link and it will bring you straight into the studio, so you can join me live in the studio here, right? Or you call the WhatsApp number 0817-029-4077. Let me quickly take some of your messages, and then I bring you highlights of some of those protests today. Before I even bring you highlights of the protest today, let me quickly take this story on security. As vigilante members in Edo State today, they vex, see they come more gun for their hand. That the governor of Edo State, Governor Mondo Pueblo, withdrew their rifle or whatever small gun really they use operate from their hand. And some of them talk say the governor know how say they don't endanger their lives for the purpose of the state to secure their communities. Then now where you don't withdraw their rifle, how say it means say they leave them vulnerable, because this headsmen, when they come, most of them they armed, and nobody they command the arm for their hand. How would the governor now remove arms from them? Meaning that they've not left them vulnerable to be killed by these arms. And how about if there's a reprisal attack, like some of the families of these people are saying? Let's watch one of the vigilante men speak to
Press will go straight, sir, because yesterday people were on the street yesterday.
Yes,
so today now, we saw that, is it that people are here to work, or you said until they answer you?
We are here until they answer us, because we don't suffer for this work. Person like me, I'm 21 years in vigilante now. If you check this my hand, more than 15 bullets, they inside this my hand today. So our divisional will be working with our police rifle, our divisional DPO. We work it on the station, any area we receive any call, we move to make sure so there's peace. When there's problem in Upper Sakmumba that our DPO pull out, the call of us will bring our house to support to assist the DPO to make sure so there's peace at Upper Sakmumba. Now we don't collect our house. Anytime DPO call not to assist, many things have been happening around the environment around those states. So that's why we the vigilante, we have been trained, they train us how to shoot, how to drive, how to do many things. After our training, they give us our certificate. So when CP Party come, he said he want to repair Edo State. We respect him as a good citizen of Edo State. We use our hand, carry our hand, go give her. After we don't give her, he come out for EBS. Man at that time say, is it easy to collect 2,000 something gold from boys to recover? That's we are attached. We don't know what we are doing. That's why we, the Vigilante of Edo State, we come out to beg our governor to come to our aid, to come and rescue us. But the hand of our enemy, as we are saying now, many escape people we don't arrest before put for this thing, many of them don't come out. Our life is no longer safe. So we need our gun back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You heard that? Well, they say they need their gun back for inside Edo State. Why their governor go collect their gun for their hand? Say their life right now, they're in danger. Well, I guess somebody will join my conversation, Mr. Anthony Johnson. Mr. Anthony Johnson, good evening and thank you so much for joining me.
Wow, this is really a pleasure. I just turned you on by accident. I was in the studio and I didn't realize I'd be on stage, but I'm glad to be on stage. I listened to the earlier discussion, but I'll stay with this discussion so I won't go out of place. You know, the governor has, just like you said earlier about the people who disarmed the Obas of Lagos, they're actually exposing these people to real serious danger. Because I used to be in the military, and I'll tell you, there is nothing worse than not having at least something to protect yourself. Right now, as we're talking, I wouldn't be surprised those people that are planning on invading them are probably moving towards them. So if something happens, I'll be the first one to tell you that is a possibility. And I really, really appreciate listening to you and the two gentlemen that was on earlier. You are the best from now on. And I'll just say greetings to everybody. Please stay with this lady. God bless you. Huh?
Thank you. Okay. Much appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So you're free to join the conversation. Kindly click on the link by the pinned post and you can join us straight into the studio and you can join me here in the studio. And better still, you call the WhatsApp line 0817-029-4077. That is the WhatsApp number. So you can just call the WhatsApp line so you can be part of the conversation. And speaking about highlights of the protest, earlier today, police fired tear gas canisters to disperse protesters. In fact, there were some very not so good looking video footages I have, but I'm not going to play them because YouTube feed just sanctioned me because of this. But operators of the River State Police Command on Monday today morning fired tear gas at protesters in Port Harcourt, the state capital. So you can look on my YouTube page on the video session. I think I did a collation of some of those videos about the protest. So you can go check that out and you see that. Now the protesters had converged and there's a Borough Park when the officers stormed and attacked them. Same thing happened in Abuja too, as the Nigerian police on Monday fired tear gas at peaceful protesters in the Maitema area of Abuja as demonstrators took to the streets to demand urgent government action on worsening economic conditions, rising repression, and the alleged misuse of the Cyber Act. And I think that's one of the most important things that, they complained about, that the Nigerian government has misused the Cyber Act. Now, speaking about development in Nigeria and all of this, here's what some of the protesters had to say.
Let's say like Egypt invaded. The people of Egypt are not the original people of Egypt. Look at Morocco. Look at Libya. Look at Algeria. What is happening in those countries is coming to happen in Nigeria. It's not about tribalism. Let's keep tribalism. Let's keep religion. It's not about what is happening in Burkina Faso. Even the blind can see. Even the dead can wake up to testify what is going on in Burkina Faso.
What is going on there?
What is going on in Burkina Faso is revolution. The president there is doing well. That is what the citizens of Africa need.
Do you realize that he's a military leader?
I don't want to know any military that is better than democracy. We accept it. Either the Burkina Faso president take the government by coup, it also concerns us. But The guy is doing well. What the fucking democracy in Nigeria is doing. It's a good democracy. He will soon go and leave our country. Military and democracy is opposite. So what is the difference? The military are performing the democracy.
So you are applauding the government of Burkina Faso?
Yes. I love the government of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger,
what is your name, sir?
Anywhere. Even if they want to take coup, to take over
what
the
is your name, sir?
It's better for the
Can you tell us your name, sir?
My name is Latino Michael.
Okay.
My face, I always handle alarming Africa. People know me very well.
The reason why this is happening is because the president of this country, who have fought on oath to uphold to the constitution, have decided to militarize our democracy. A president that woke up and suspended the governor, Assembly members, and immediately the military took charge and took over government house. That is why the police came here, fully armed to feet, to arrest and intimidate harmless citizens. But posterity will speak. An IGP of police, whose tenure has expired, whose years of service has expired, is still in government. All his mates and regular mass members have resigned, have gone home. The African have gone home. He's still there. How do we encourage unity? When you have your business, we are saying our message today. Posterity will speak. Posterity will judge.
Can I know your name, sir?
I'm the Ambassadorial Nominees.
Thank you.
And that was Promise Enyi from our studio here, went out to the streets to feel the pulse of the protesters during the protest earlier today. It was interesting what the young man said about Burkina Faso, considering that is exactly what the Burkina Faso president speaks about, exactly what he says about his administration. That is a popular transformative revolution. That's what he'll call it. Of course, it's not democracy, but he failed to call it military regime. He says it's transformative democracy. That's what, transformative revolution, rather. Popular transformative revolution, right? Other people, we also spoke to other protesters, and let's watch what they had to say.
We know the truth. We know the truth and we continue to speak the truth no matter what.
At Lagos State Assembly, Lagos, for the protest. As you can see, security, plenty passengers. We not carry gun, they carry gun. You know, the people they are protesting are inside, enjoying, but they are outside under the sun. The real people they invest today inside. We are here. The economy is bad. Everything is going bad. Look, so many people there that they are homeless because so one person just wake up, decide say they want break person out because they want to do road where they don't feel complete. Look at dollar. Look at the whole situation. We are facing insecurity and hunger in this country. And I'm still pissed that now this same situation, this same time, now the president choose to go France, go there and chop life. The assistant go Senegal. Everybody come up for us. When insecurity they go on, people they buy.
But the Senate president did too.
The Senate president, the president himself, the vice president, all of them, nobody they show workings. None of them they show workings. Police celebration. There's nothing to celebrate.
Find something to eat. You know, after you come to Ikeja at the night, around 10, 11 o'clock, you see a daughter of 10, 11 years old doing prostitute, which is not fair. We haven't even had that before.
And why is that? What is the reason for that?
It's because of the politics they are doing. No, I'm not even participating.
But as the next election is coming, so they talk about someone of dancing and anger.
Am I mad? Am I a useless man being? My daughter is asking, crying. He's telling me that I'm going to go and vote for APC again to scatter this country again.
Have you voted for APC?
I haven't voted for any APC, but I make I die. Which kind of APC? See what can happen? Let's get to it. When we don't know already, we don't already know what their strategies. During the Abiola time, I'm saying in Abiola Christian, during the Abiola time, this brother Ahmed Tinubu used to follow Abiola, carry 5 that year, 1991, that year, before Abiola left. Now, what Abiola want to do, Tinubu don't come down. They don't come out with subsidy. Everybody are crying. Right, whether they say 17 naira, come to 1,700 naira. Everything has scattered now. Now, there are no money in Nigeria. Nigeria has scattered. My own demand is that they can remove the president.
Remove who? Remove who? All right. Make we go watch some more of the protesters and waiting then talk. Watch them.
Everything they are in prison. They are not ready to do anything for the people. What they do is they embezzle our money. If they are sick, they and their children, they will get out of Nigeria. That's why our healthcare are in shambles. That's why our education system is rubbish.
So let's hear your thoughts and reaction about
my thought is big and large. I will start from one point. They are forefathers. They took our forefathers as slaves, right? They inculcated them. They gave it to our fathers. Our fathers and mothers too. They inculcated them again. They gave it to us. Like this is 3 generations, though. Counting 3 generations.
So what is the essence of
the
this
essence
protest?
is that we do not want this bad governance again. We want that which we speak for our rights. That which we hear our voice. A government that will listen to us. That knows our aspirations, our yearnings. Not that we will follow bad boys. At the end of the day, they know how to come and meet us. Tell us to come and vote. Know how to compensate us for them. Tell us to compensate our people. Now the entire people cannot meet them again. They can't even come outside and see us again, no. Face life. We don't want this again in Nigeria.
So they say during election, then they call on us. After election, they don't give access again to see them.
Look behind you. Look behind you, that's what they sell for market. Sam, big long. So a place that they will call us and track us at the middle of the night. They will track us in here. Now we cannot come see barrier. They carry guns.
So I also want to have your thoughts and reactions. What is your point in this protest? What are you asking and what are you demanding from the government?
All right. What we want from the government, we need facility care. We need good
What is your name, sir? Please tell us your name.
My name is Ayola Adetayo.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
So, these our children, they don't have free education. I can bet you that. They don't have free education. There's no money. All these are officers. Some of them do complain, but they cannot speak it outside.
So you mean the police officers also complain?
I have a lot of uncles working presently for the country. You understand? So it's a very painful something. I saw so many families suffering. I myself have been several states in other countries.
So in essence, you're asking for accountability and the government to do better.
For this country. Let's think about these children, not only theirs.
Thank you. Thank
We are now out of our slumber. We are up to fight for it.
That is your name, sir.
I am Comrade Director William Olabisi. I'm an alumni of Ozosin University of Akoko. Here I am, spitting out my mind. The same 4 years ago, the same 4 years we served in school.
So after you graduated, you have no job?
What have we got? What did they give us to do?
Don't be kind talk. Don't come on.
I'm sure you're surprised about that thing when you hear this. So something happened during the protest today. So that last statement where you just hear so. Now protesters them see a police officer wait if their phone where they be the dispresent during the last protest, that end bad governance protest for August. The person, you know, why they were trying to, you know, scatter them and all that. A police officer, according to them, stole their phone and they tracked the phone to him. And they were trying to tell him that you will see what the police officer get to do. Even his fellow policemen were trying to protect him and tell him, oh yeah, come out. When the young men don't recognize them, they call in attention. And so they begin telling me, the other colleagues come begin telling come out. Just watch it.
So they are saying a police officer have recognized a police officer that tried to seize their phone during the end of the
Saw that the way they told him, oh, you're going. He said, me. He said, yes. Do you think we won't recognize you? You think we won't recognize you? You think we won't recognize you? He said, me. The other colleagues said, so yeah, they go. He started going. Wow, police officers we're supposed to defend us and protect our property. Now them, now help bad person property. Oh yeah, watch out for.
So they are saying a police officer have recognized a police officer that actually during the embargo so they're saying this police officer they have gone and dragged
we have families abroad. My brother lives in South Africa for 7 years. He's a citizen of UK today. Everybody wants to escape Nigeria because Nigeria is killing us. This is not a nation.
Why do you think people want to leave?
Because we are not.
Why the need for the high rise in Japa syndrome?
The reason Nigerians are Japa is because Nigeria is not habitable. Nigeria is security people. There's no job. People are retired. If Nigeria was good, they wouldn't leave.
What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir?
My name is Ambassadorial Nominees. I'm a graduate and I know what I am doing, right?
Do you have other things to tell us? Other demands or your grievances against the government?
We are here. We identify a police officer that stole our phone at our last protest.
Yes.
Yes, today we are just recognizing it personally. Because you do it without this gun, there are nobody. You know that
you can't threaten a police officer. That's not right.
This is the point. What we are doing today is, today alone we are telling government to stop the Cybercrime Act. You understand? This is democracy. You have the right to express your desire. So they don't have to stop us. Look at all of them. They're actually suffering. Are they looking fresh? No. If you were looking for investment, they're not here. They're in the AC. They're fresh. See them, they're outside. They have wives, they have children. The money they're in is not enough for them. I can assure you. The money they're in is not enough for them. If they retire today, they earn less than 2 million naira. I can assure you, a TikTok user makes that money every day. What are we saying? This fight is for them, it's for their children, it's for their unborn kids. They should stop oppressing us. This gun, they should keep it and go and fight Boko Haram.
Do you understand that it's also their duty to do their job?
You understand that? But the government is using them as a bait to fight the people that fight on them.
You think so?
I think so because...
Why do you think so? Why do you say
so? This is what I said. The answers protest in 2020. They can't deny all of them. They were raised, their pay was raised. Why? Because in our flight, we told them that the police are not well taken care of. That's why they have stopped. So all of them are here. You did not, we have taught you. I have been lost twice. Why? Because I'm using a Samsung phone. Police officer. If I don't have my right, they will detain me and they will have stopped me. What the fuck is that? Why? Because they're not being treated right. If they've been paying right, they've been paying well, they won't be doing that nonsense. I am saying the police want an armed robber. I know some robber won't collect money or phone. I'll give you. The police, they extort me, they will harass me, they will kill me and throw me in water. You know all these things. They are aware of that. There's a boy in Harcourt now we said 20-year-old girl because he record a politician that killed somebody. That guy was snitched, was arrested, he was killed. You can't find him anymore. What are we now saying? They are tired. If this country was good, people will not Japan. Can you imagine this is my father's country? And why should I live? Why should my dream be? I want to live in Nigeria. My dream should be I want to become a medical doctor, I want to become an engineer, I should make Nigeria better, not that I want to live in Nigeria for UK. That's what I say. They are looking there to fight for us. See gun, these guns are fucking expensive. If Nigeria was good, they wouldn't need to buy expensive gun. See look at those guns now. About 6 different years. It's very expensive. What are we saying? The fight for them. Most of their kids in their first school, they are suffering. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so I don't hear them from the protesters, they finish. Well, now here now go draw the curtain for Inside the Show. Thank you to everybody that's been part of the show. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your messages, your calls. I couldn't read all of them, so I had to react to them. I'll see you again tomorrow afternoon, God willing, by 2 p.m. And we'll speak extensively on Ibrahim Traoré's developmental thrives, as it were, in Burkina Faso. They supposed to get a Burkina to join me for Inside the Studio to talk about that matter tomorrow by the special grace of God. So hopefully I would have them join me tomorrow. I tried to get 2 or 3 of them. Most of them did not have time to join me this evening. But let's talk about him and what he's about tomorrow. I love you guys. See you again. So willing joining me. Subscribe, follow us like a village people. Just subscribe. Turn on the notification button and then continue to follow us. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Ensure you protect your mental health because wahala.